Hello, my friends from the interwebs. Survive with Knife here. And no, I am not dead. I have not produced a video for, I don't know, 5 months. It may be longer. I didn't even look to see when I put my last one out. But I'm back. I'm still here. Still active. I just haven't been, I guess, in the mood or just into posting videos recently. But I do have some new knives, which I've been wanting to show you guys, and here is one of them. This is the Cold Steel Tuff-Lite. You can see it right there. This was a gift, I think for my birthday. I don't even remember what it was for. I've had it for probably about 5 months or so, and I'm really enjoying it. I was a little disappointed when I got it. I thought it was going to be bigger than what it is, but I've really come to really like the knife, though. Even though its size is a little bit smaller, and I'll get into the dimensions here in a little bit, but I've really come to really enjoy the knife. But let's just get right into the review. I've got my checklist here so I can keep my talking points in order, and I don't start running down a rabbit trail. First thing we're going to look at here is the handle scales. Handle scales is Cold Steel, listed as Grivery. It's just a hard epoxy type plastic, I guess. It's got a little indentation here, and other than that, it's fairly smooth. Hold it here close to the camera, maybe you guys can see it. It's got a little bit of a texturing on it to give you some grip. It is a comfortable handle scale. Liners. This does not have any liners other than the scales themselves, so there's no internal liners on that, keeping the weight of the knife down. The locking mechanism is the triad lock from Cold Steel, the much touted triad lock, and that particular locking mechanism is extremely strong. Once this blade is extended, you know, it's just not going to go anywhere. You don't have to worry about the blade becoming unlocked even under vibration and impact. It's just not going to go anywhere. At least that's been my experience with triad locks. The pocket clip is fine. It's just a good, well executed pocket clip. It's pretty strong, as most Cold Steel knives are. Pocket clip is maybe a little too strong, but it still works. And having the smooth surface underneath here affords it slipping in and out of the pocket fairly easily. It is tip down carry, left and right, so that's great. I carry it in the left position, but it's over there for you righties also. The handle spine is filled in. It does not have the blow-through construction, which I like on a lot of knives, but you know, on a small knife like this, it's not as big of a deal. But the blow-through construction I do like for being able to clean it out with compressed air. Jimping. This is more aesthetic than functional jimping. It's very large. It does give you a little traction, but I would say it's more aesthetic than anything else. The blade steel is AUS 8A, which is a Japanese steel, which I've really come to like as a good mid-grade steel. It's really quite good. You can get a very fine edge with it, and it holds it pretty well. I have some SOG knives that have AUS 8, use the AUS 8 steel, and Cold Steel also, and I'm trying to think, have some others that have the AUS 8, and I've just been very, very happy with it. Actually, the Ontario Rat 1s also have AUS 8, and this is AUS 8A to be specific. It's a little different, but it's very similar to just standard AUS 8. The factory edge was really good on this. I touched it up for the review so you guys can see, how sharp this thing really is. But it's, with that Wharncliffe blade shape, I mean, it is just a hair-popping paper shaver. I mean, it is just, it's incredibly sharp. The blade shape, as I mentioned, is a Wharncliffe design. Straight, kind of like a razor. It's hollow grind. You can see it there from the front. Very nice. Very nice for utility. And that's what I'll get to here when I get to the knife's role. We'll talk about its primary function, I believe, as more of a utility knife. The blade size, you have, and I'll roll in some pictures here and show you the other different versions of the Tuff-Lite that you can get. You can get it with fully serrated blade, and they have the Tuff-Lite Mini also, which I believe has a 2-inch blade versus the full-size Tuff-Lite, which is 2.5. This has a 2.5-inch cutting surface on the blade. The knife weight comes in at a very low 2.5 ounces, which you would expect for a knife of this size. Its overall length is 6 inches. The blade deployment is just via this hole right here. Snaps out very, very nicely. With the lock back and the triad lock, one hand closing is possible, but you need to be careful. I just accomplished it there, but typically you probably, with this particular knife, you just want to close it with 2 hands just to be safe. The ergonomics, it is very comfortable. That's been my experience with it, using it for opening boxes and getting into tight points. I used it for a little bit of carving already also, doing some very detailed work, and it just works very well for that. You would kind of use this in the same way you might use a Stanley knife or a box cutter. Okay, now for the knife roll. It's really too small to be a self-defense knife and not really that fast in deployment, so I would not really categorize it as that. This is not a primary carry for me. This kind of a backup that runs here on my Condor, or I'm sorry, my Maxpedition bag, and a lot of times just right here on the strap. I just carry it as an extra knife for utility purposes and things like that I don't want to use my main blade for. Typically my main blade is over a 3-inch blade, so it's really just too small to be a primary blade for me. Survival knife, not really. I don't think it really falls into that role. It's not really that good of a hunting knife due to the Wharncliffe blade design. It's just too sharp of a point. If you guys have ever, skinned rabbits and squirrels or dressed out a deer, you would want a blade with a little bit more belly and sweep to it. Utility though, it's great for utility purposes, and I think that's its primary function. And those of you guys that are carpenters or electricians, I think it's a great knife for that particular purpose. Cool factor, I think it has a little bit of it. It's kind of a unique, kind of a bad look to it, so I think it does have that cool factor to it. Most people will probably be impressed if you pull this out. The price, the listed price on Cold Steel's website is $50, I believe. But you can usually find it for less than that. Actually, I'm not even sure. Like I said, I didn't buy this knife myself, but I think you can pick it up for around $45, $50. So it's a good deal, and it's definitely worth it. So if you guys are looking for a good utility blade, the Cold Steel Tuff-Lite, it's your knife. Okay, guys, thanks for watching, and I will be back with some more reviews, and I'll get back into engaging with the YouTube community. So you guys have a great day.